Greetings. My name is Jessica Reimer, and I am a board member of the Mindful Minutes Foundation, which supports our Challenge to Change programming in area schools. I also offer my practices to the Challenge to Change studio when needed. And today I'm going to be sharing with you my practice of mindful yoga. In my practice, I combine mindset, movement, and meditation. We're going to start today by talking a little bit about mindset. It can really be a challenge sometimes to not become overwhelmed by the thoughts running through our heads. If you've ever heard the term monkey mind, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Our minds can make up stories, can get caught in loops of those stories, and it can be sometimes hard to slow the mind down and see things for the way that they really are. Now, I'm not an expert in any of these things. These ideas that I'm going to share with you today are simply ones that I have come across in my time on this planet and have found the ones that work best for me. So hopefully one of these or more can work for you. So if you look back here, I've got a list of 5 things that you can do to reset your mindset. And they're all free, by the way, no expenses involved. The first one is to listen to a favorite song. I want you to think for a second if you have a favorite song. And if you don't, maybe ask some of your friends or family if they have a song that whenever they listen to it, it makes them happy. For me, one of my favorite songs is the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun. Doesn't matter when that song comes on, any place, anytime, I am instantly smiling and transported to a happy place in my mind. So find a song that does that for you. The second part of that first point is reading a favorite quote. Quotes are awesome because they are short and memorable. It's wonderful to sit down and read books about mindfulness, but we don't always have time for that. So I have found that having favorite quotes on Post-it notes or written down can help me to just have those little moments of mindfulness. And they're not necessarily quotes from famous people. They might be something that someone in your life said to you that really resonated with you. One that I have on my laptop right now, I can't even tell you where to contribute this to, but it's simply this: celebrate any progress. Don't wait to be perfect. And every day when I open my laptop, I'm reminded by this. So maybe you're going to put your Post-it note on your mirror in your bathroom, someplace where you're going to see it and be reminded. And then writing it down is also very powerful. And that leads us to number 2. Write it down. Name it to tame it. For some people, journaling comes very easily. For me, it's a little more difficult, but if I can just bullet journal, jot down thoughts, maybe not complete sentences, but something to get it out of my head and onto paper. Sometimes it's as simple as that to-do list that just keeps repeating over and over in your head. And you can tell your brain, I don't have to think about that anymore. I wrote it down, and then you get that satisfaction of marking it off as well. My third suggestion is to take a mindful walk. Now we're just coming out of winter, so we have been fortunate to have some days where we have some cool sunshine, and even on our slightly dreary rainy days, put on your rain boots, carry an umbrella, get outside, and get some fresh air. If you can't get outside for some reason, you can make simple everyday activities mindful by paying attention to what you're doing in that moment. For me, I noticed that when I was brushing my teeth, I wasn't focusing on that moment. I was thinking about all the things that I needed to do after I brushed my teeth. So immediately, I had a 2-minute opportunity to focus on what I was doing in the present moment. And I created a little mantra for myself: brush and breathe, brush and breathe. And every time my mind wandered away from the action of brushing my teeth, I simply gently bring it back to that brush and breathe. And I have one of those timer toothbrushes, so that helps me stay to the 2 minutes. But maybe you can set a timer for yourself if that helps you. So those mindful activities, anything you do in your day can be turned into a mindful activity. Cooking is another great one. The fourth item on my list, 3 deep breaths. Yes, we breathe involuntarily all day long. It's a wonderful thing that our bodies do. But how often do we truly take a deep breath? Do it with me. We're going to inhale all the way to the crown of our heads and exhale to the soles of your feet. Inhale again to the crown of your head and exhale to the soles of your feet. Once more, inhale and exhale. I have found that practice to be most helpful in between answering emails at work. Traffic lights used to drive me crazy, and occasionally they still do. But now I try to see them as an opportunity to breathe. If my radio is on, I'll shut it off and I'll just practice deep breathing for that time that I'm at the traffic light. When the light turns green, if I want, I'll turn the radio back on and continue driving. But you'll be amazed at how much better you feel mentally, physically, and spiritually when you allow yourself to take frequent mindful breaths. The last item on my list is to look at an image of nature. Research has shown that getting outside is the best, but we don't always have the opportunity to do that. So research has shown that simply looking at an image of nature can also have positive effects on our mental state. There's something hardwired about us as humans that craves that connection with nature. So whether it's photographs that you have from past vacations, photographs of places that you'd like to go, maybe it's a wall calendar with beautiful images from around the world. Wherever those images are of nature that you can look at, take that time throughout the day to just pause, maybe along with those 3 mindful breaths. Back to the favorite quote. My personal favorite quote is, "Be a rainbow in someone else's clouds," by Maya Angelou. For me, this is a great reminder that no matter what is going on in my life, I can pause and instead shift my focus to what I can do for others. And that often changes my perspective in an instant. Think about it for a second. When we're all wrapped up in concerns about ourselves, that spiral of thought can go on and on and on. But if we can pause that and think about, what can I do for someone else who may be having similar concerns or different concerns? It really shifts that focus. Now, whether or not you're able to actually follow through in that moment with the ability to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud, or it's just an idea that you have planted for yourself to do in the future, it moves you from that negative frame of mind to a positive frame of mind. When I do find my thoughts doing that spiral, I've heard people say, just set those thoughts aside and do something else. It's not always as simple as that, is it? We need to give our brains a job, something else to do instead of thinking about that stuff that we don't want them to. Sometimes it's physical movement that can help us quiet those thoughts. Sometimes it's a mental mantra. For me, it's look for the good. So every time I feel like those negative thoughts start percolating to the surface, I try to pause and remind myself, look for the good. Even if I can't find that good in the moment, just simply repeating that phrase to myself, look for the good, as I breathe in deep and exhale fully, can help pause those negative thoughts by giving my brain something else to keep it busy. If we think about movement as a way to keep our minds busy, I'd like to share with you some yoga that is very simple. You can do this seated if standing is not comfortable for you. We're going to use 3 yoga poses along with a positive affirmation to help bring our bodies and minds together. So in this moment, I'd like you to think about a word, a positive word, that you associate with yourself. I am calm. I am patient. I am confident. I am loving. Whatever those words might be for you, pick one in this present moment, and we're going to use them as we move through our yoga poses. Got your word? Okay. I'm going to say the words I am, and you're going to fill in with your personal choice of your positive affirmation word. Let's start with a deep inhale. The arms come up above your head, and exhale down. This time, inhale the arms up, let the palms come together, and then down to your heart. We're going to turn to the side and moving into Warrior One, inhale, I am. Moving into Warrior Two, I am. Revolved warrior, turning that left palm up, I am. Come back to the center, hands down by your sides. Repeating on the other side. Inhale, arms come up, I am. Arms to your shoulders, I am. I am. Come back to the center and relax your arms down. Bring the arms up, seal it in. I am. You can repeat that positive affirmation and those 3 warriors on each side as many times as you want. Maybe once is enough to just bring you to a calm place in your body. We can also use things like Tai Chi, Qigong, simple stretches to help bring our bodies and minds to a more positive place. My grandmother was my very first Tai Chi instructor. She lived 93 years. Now, I can't guarantee that if you practice Tai Chi and Qigong, you will also live a long and healthy life. But it can't hurt, right? One of the things that I love the most about Tai Chi and Qigong is that they incorporate a lot of images of nature. Today, we're going to work through a few movements that are part of something called the Lake series. So I'd like you to take a moment and in your mind, perhaps closing your eyes, in your mind, picture your ideal lake. Whatever that lake is for you, the smooth waters, surrounded by trees, clear blue sky, other plants, animals. You can build that image of your lake in your mind as we go. We're going to begin with sunrise, sunset. With your feet hip-width apart, join me as you inhale the sunrise and exhale the sunset. Repeating, inhale, sunrise, looking up if that feels okay for your neck. And exhale, sunset, looking down into the waters of the lake. Once more, inhale, looking up at the sky, sunrise. And exhale, sunset. Allow your hands to scoop a little bit of the water from the lake. Bring one hand on top of the other as though you're cupping the water between your two hands. This movement is called water beads on lotus leaves. You're going to create a small space between your two hands and roll those water beads between your two hands as you breathe in a comfortable yet deep and consistent manner. Maybe only the top hand moves. Maybe that is more comfortable for you. Maybe as you become more comfortable, you can move the two hands in alternate concentric circles. We're going to switch sides. So press the palms of the hands together, cupping the water. Slowly turn the water beads over in your hands. Create a small space between the two hands and roll the water beads again. Close your eyes for a moment and feel the sensation of the cool water beads between your hands. Smell the fresh, earthy aromas of the lake around you. Feel the sunshine on your face. Hear the animals go about their daily activities. Cupping your hands together, bring that water up to your mouth and imagine that you can taste that fresh water. And then release your hands back to the surface of the lake. We're going to move on to a time of meditation. We'll share more of the lake series in future recording sessions. But now I invite you to take a seat or perhaps lay down. My children's favorite part of a yoga practice is what they call a yoga nap. Others call it shavasana. So find a comfortable way to sit. Again, either seated or laying down. Before we close our eyes, I'd like to walk you through a breathing practice that helps connect our bodies with our minds. We're going to take our fingers and start by pressing the thumb to the first finger, then the middle finger, the ring fingers, and the pinky. And repeat. Inhale, 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 inhale. Then exhale, 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 exhale. Continue to breathe and press the fingertips together, creating not only a physical but mental connection. Scientific research has shown that when we connect our fingertips, we actually strengthen the channels in our brains, those nerve connections. So we'll inhale, 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 and exhale, 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 exhale. You may continue to breathe with the fingertip movements, or you can relax your hands into either open cups or your favorite mudra. You can turn the hands down to rest, whatever you find most comfortable. Sometimes continuing with the fingertip breathing can help give your brain an extra job and keep it right here in the present moment. I'll invite you to close your eyes if you wish now for our guided meditation. I'd like to begin with a visualization at the lake that we were just visiting. I want you to imagine that on the surface of the lake, there are tiny paper boats holding little candles. And those candles represent your worries. And a gentle breeze comes up and starts to blow those little paper boats with the candles across the lake, away from you. You watch them float away in the distance. You know they are there, but you are no longer connected to them. You are cleansed, empty of cares. They are distant. Listen to your inner voice without worry or sadness. Listen to the conversation of the universe. Continuing to breathe deeply, letting your breath come to the crown of your head and journey down to the soles of your feet. Feeling the sensation of the rise and fall of your breath as it travels throughout your body. If your mind starts to wander away, that's okay. Gently bring it back to the breath. Every moment, every opportunity that you notice your mind traveling elsewhere is evidence of you being mindful, of you being aware of the present moment. It's not something to be frustrated about, that you can't keep your mind where you want it. It's an awareness of where your thoughts are and being okay with them. Remembering the phrase, look for the good. Three more deep inhalations and exhalations to the crown of your head, to the soles of your feet. Relaxing your face, your jaw, your shoulders, your chest, your torso, your legs, your toes. One more deep breath in and exhale. Slowly opening your eyes, coming back to this shared space. And we'll close this practice together. If you're laying down, come back to a seated position and join me as we raise our arms, inhaling all the good in the world and exhaling as we bring that good into our hearts. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.